During construction in 1885 to 1886, the Rogers Pass construction camp was located just east of the crest of Rogers Pass. Then in 1887, the settlement was relocated even further east to what was to be a permanent site at the foot of Mount Tupper. By 1899, the settlement consisted of the station itself on the south side of the main line and on the north side of the main line, separated from the station by 3 sets of tracks, a 2-stall roundhouse, and turntable for pusher locomotives. Beside the roundhouse and beside the storage track were 2 bunk cars set up on logs alongside of the shop for the snow shovel gang to sleep in. A small section house stood behind the bunk car. Finally, in the rear of the railway yard, near a creek that flowed out of the Hermit Slide Gully, and directly in front of an old slide path, sat 2 private dwellings of those of the Newitt family and the telegraph lineman Maxwell and family. A short distance to the west of the station was a water tower and the entrance to snowshed number 13. There were a total of 31 snowsheds in the pass. At about 4:30 on the afternoon of January 31st, 1899, Rogers Pass Station was readying for the arrival of a Pacific Express passenger train from the east. Rogers Pass Station was the scheduled passing place for the westbound Pacific Express passenger train and the eastbound Atlantic Express passenger train. The dispatcher had originally ordered the Pacific Express to go as far as Rogers Pass Station and wait, then changed his mind and had it stop at Donald. A snowslide had blocked the mouth of the snowshed number 19. The Atlantic Express was stopped at Glacier House Station. The 40-man snow shovel gang had been called away to clear the slide at the mouth of snowshed 19. The station agent, William Cantor, was talking with coalman Frank Vogel, while Cantor's wife Annie and the Chinese cook, Ah Hu, were making preparations in the kitchen. The Cantors' 2 children, 2-year-old Ethel and 3-year-old Charles, were nearby, while the night operator, Frank Corson, was asleep in his bunk upstairs. The station waitress and housekeeper, Annie Berger, was also upstairs. A CPR wiper, James Ridley, was asleep in a nearby section house. High winds were buffeting fresh snow on the mountains. They loosened snow high up on Mount Tupper, which suddenly came down as an avalanche. The avalanche first took out the section house and the 2 bunk cars. Locomotive wiper James Ridley was killed when the section house was destroyed. 2 Chinese caretakers of the bunk cars were rolled over and over inside the cars, but were rescued still alive. It then demolished the 2-stall roundhouse, except for 1 front door. Engine 409 in the roundhouse was tipped into the pit sideways. The debris was carried on to the station, which was also destroyed. The wreckage carried up the side of Mount McDonald to the south. The station agent, William Cantor, upon hearing the avalanche, rushed to the door of the station and was swept away. Frank Vogel dived under a desk and was later rescued, as was waitress Annie Berger. She was found under the roof with 2 broken legs and other injuries. The entire Cantor family was killed. Annie Cantor and the Chinese cook were found in the kitchen. Annie Cantor still had a rolling pin and pastry in her hands. The 2 children, Charlie and Ethel, were found not far away, as was the body of Frank Carson, the night operator. 2 weeks later, William Cantor's body had still not been found. The family pets, 2 dogs and a caged bird, survived unharmed. In all, 7 people lost their lives. That same day, a Swedish section worker was also killed in a slide near Glacier House Station, bringing the total to 8. It remains a mystery why the railway chose such an exposed location to build the original Rogers Pass station. After the avalanche, the station and yards were rebuilt in a less exposed location, a mile west around the corner in a flat meadow. The Canadian Pacific Railway bypassed the summit of the pass when the Connaught Tunnel was completed in 1916.